jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best, you gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports.
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. No negotiations needed, period. Appreciate everyone who's in the building, tuned in. Let me first start off by saying salute to the supporters. Pray for those who are going through it. You know what I'm saying? Pray for my guy Haynes' legacy each and every day. You know, pray for his health, pray for his family. Pray for Toby Bartlett and many others is maybe struggling out there, you know what I'm saying, with health and just everyday personal issues, okay? My first assignment, congratulations to Naji Lopez. Naji Lopez has been improving every single fight. If you was watching Pro Box the other day, man, great contest that he had against Calvin Henderson. He went in there undefeated at 14 wins, 0 defeats. BoxingScene.com, light heavyweight prospect / contender, Naji Lopez showed why he is so highly touted when he dispatched Calvin Henderson in the 5th of a scheduled 10 of a Pro Box TV main event Saturday in Kissimmee, Florida. They said Lopez opened up with a sharp jab, pinning Henderson gloves to his face as he circled with menacing intent. After a largely wary opening frame in which Henderson mostly watched as Lopez jabbed and circled, Lopez began adding right hands over Henderson's own jab, which was a slow and blunt tool in comparison to Lopez's rapider, sharp offense. Through 3 rounds, Henderson was frustrated. Any thoughts of opening up stymied by the constant rat-a-tat-tat of Lopez's jab. By that stage, Lopez 15-0, 12 knockouts had outlanded Henderson by 81 punches to 9, highlighted by a second frame in which Lopez landed a record 34 blows and Henderson scored with a precisely 0. For those who think of the jab as a punch of little consequence, a dry, amused Boucher to set up the mouth-watering power punch main course, Lopez was delivering a masterclass demonstration of his effectiveness as a weapon in his own right. Henderson, 19-3-1, 13 knockouts, was looking completely flustered as Lopez jab peppered his face. Having softened up his prey, Lopez moved in for the 5th finish in the 5th. After leaning back to encourage jab, Lopez landed a counter right hand over the top that exploded on the side of Henderson's jaw. Lopez feinted to the body to drop Henderson's guard just a little, and another right and detonated. Hand detonated. Another right hand detonated. Henderson reeled backwards into the ropes where Lopez teed off on him until referee Montanini stepped in to halt the contest at 55 seconds of the 5th round. Lopez will later say, and quote, "I understand that he has the experience. He's been in there with guys that he can fight," said Lopez afterwards. "So I just took my time, stuck with the game plan. As soon as I seen him hurt, I knew y'all ain't seen nothing yet." In the evening walkout bout, okay, that's another fighter, but I just wanted to highlight Naji Lopez. Salute to you. Salute to Naji Lopez. Earned another victory. Make sure y'all support him. Light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Puerto Rico. His pro box. This is a pro box fighter. Definitely climbing the ladder and doing his thing, man. Salute to you. Congratulations. And great fight yesterday. You continue to improve. Shout out to DV on deck. What it do? Blue Hustle on deck. What's good? What's good? Let's get to Jaron Ennis, man. He seems to be a bit under the weather when it comes to, giving recognition to Terrence Crawford. And Jaron Ennis is one of those fighters who I'm waiting to see him have his breakout fight. Listen, all these boxers that are competing in the same class of combat who may be close enough to potentially fight one another. I mean, you're not going to get the mentality that you're looking for at the end of the day. They're not always going to support one another. But for me, I don't know why Ennis has a hard time supporting a boxer that really never was in his way. Like Crawford was never in Jaron Ennis's way at all. When Crawford went on $1 million worth of game, it's almost like, he said he was looking for him since 2018. We're in 2025, heading in 2026 in a couple of months, right? And I'm just trying to find out why is it so difficult right now based off his achievements that you and him wasn't in the same division as champions. Like he had the Keith Thurmans, the Errol Spence. I mean, there was never a time where he was in the rotation. So I'm just wondering, like, when asked the question, and shout out to YSM Sports, shout out to Jamil doing his thing. He seemed a bit unhappy. He said he want to focus on Naisma, lima beans. I get it. Don't get mad at me because they was making fun of Avanesian, I be sneezing, avocado. You know what I'm saying? Avocado. Ava who? Ava huh? You know what I'm saying? They had all the jokes in the world. But why is it so difficult for another black fighter such as Jaron Ennis just to give Crawford his credit? Because this man came out and said, I didn't watch the fight. The biggest fight, televised. Millions was watching, yo. Except Jaron Ennis, another boxer. One who they're saying is supposed to be Crawford 2.0. They saying that Ennis is the phenom. I'm doing this live because I'm just proposing a question, an open-ended question as to why it's so difficult for him to provide some type of genuine credit to what Crawford was able to accomplish beating Canelo. Because this is the way it come off to me. Now it's coming off that you just have a personal disdain for Crawford as a fighter. You train with Canelo leading up to the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot that's going into this thought process. It's not difficult, but I'm saying to myself, what is the primary purpose? What is your mindset? Why is the distractions there? Why are you putting up these deterrents? You know what I'm saying? These mental blockers, not recognizing that Crawford has done something super special. Not average special, super special. Because it's going to come a time where you're going to want people, boxing fans, to support you. Right? And I'm, like I said, at 54, man, I'm looking forward to Ennis to showing out. I really am. You know, I'm just talking about how he acts as a fighter. Like, you know damn well you saw that fight. And if somebody asks you about a fight, why is it all of a sudden like you're posting pics with Canelo Alvarez, you know, sparring, you know, you help him get ready. This is September 13th. But now all of a sudden that fight is over and you're answering questions saying, oh, I'm focused on Uiz Malema with extra butter. But didn't you know you had Lima earlier this month? You had Lima locked in earlier this month, but yet you was taking pictures with Canelo Alvarez. You know, people was asking you about Canelo Alvarez, right? No problem. But ask you about Crawford, all of a sudden you're in denial. You say, nah, I didn't watch the fight. You focus on your fight coming up. Come on, man. That's why people look at you like you super dry, dog. Like you're super, super dry. Let's see what he had to say. And once again, shout out to YSM Sports, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to YSM Sports, bro. He's doing his thing, man. Much respect to him. And this is YSM Sports Media. Okay? This is his content. Okay?
So there's how's preparation been going? Preparation been going great. You know, I've been feeling good and ready to show up. What do you know about your opponent that's going to present some challenges? I know challenges, but I know that I watched him a couple times. I never heard of him before, so I watched him. And he just come forward, try to do a lot of punches, and that's about it. So. It's like the headline extending all the arena for the first time. Probably the third time, but you know, the first time as a new team, but it's great. You know, it's always good to come back home and be at home, just fight in front of my friends, family, supporters, and I love being at home.
Look, I want to ask you a question I know that you don't enjoy, but people want to hear your opinion. I heard what you said already. You didn't watch the fight. So I got 3 simple questions about the Crawford Canelo fight. Were you surprised by the outcome?
It's boxing. You know, they have.
No doubt. My other question for you is, you know, with this win, everybody saying Crawford elevated his status. He's the GOAT. Do you think this win puts him on Mount Rushmore or makes him a GOAT in boxing?
Everybody got their own opinion.
What's yours?
My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Renell Whitaker. I'm liking Sugar Ray Leonard. I've been watching a little bit of Sugar Ray Leonard. They my top like guys I've been watching.
Fair enough. Last question on the topic: is that a fight? Because you know people want to know. Is that a fight that you still are interested in, or you moved on? You moved on from wanting to fight Crawford. Is it still a fight that you have interest in?
My main focus right now is October 11th. That's all I'm worried about. October 11th.
See, your main focus is October 11th, but is there videos out here of him talking about other stuff? Like your focus is October 11th. You know, your focus is at this point, people don't consider you to be a baseline fighter there, Boots. Okay, hear me out now. They don't consider you to be the baseline simple-minded fighter. They consider you to be above that level. They consider you to be the part of the elite fighters in the world. You know, a former unified champion at 147 pounds, and you are transitioned to a higher division where the name may not pique people's interest the way you would expect. You know what I'm saying? The interest level is not there. People are not overly excited. But let me tell you this. It's a lot of people, to include myself, is waiting for you to have a breakup moment at 154, and also holding you to the needle that plays the record. We heard you say that you want to be undisputed at 100 and 54. I mean, 60, 68, 75. And you didn't say it in that word, but you say you want to be 4th division undisputed. 4th division is one more than what Crawford currently holds. Sir Crawford is in the pantheon of boxing right now. But you couldn't quite say to yourself when asked that question, do you consider him to be in your Mount Rushmore? And I respect who he has on there. I respect some of the names, Roy Jones, James Toney. I understand. I respect that. I'm not disputing your Mount Rushmore. Floyd Mayweather, I understand how you have those individuals there, right? It's just my why. And the reason for my ask is, what hasn't he done for you to say, I respect his achievements, I respect his paperwork, I respect his badges, his chest plate, I respect all that based on what he's been able to accomplish? Because Ennis, his resume is better than yours. His resume is better than yours. You just became unified not too long ago. We're looking for Ennis, when you was coming up at 147 pounds, to potentially try to unify the 147-pound division for undisputed. When Brian Norman Jr. went over there to fight Jen Sasaki, y'all announced the day before y'all was gone. You was up out of there. Now all of a sudden it's hard for you all to make the weight. You couldn't give Brian Norman a shot. Is it going to be everything Brian Norman Jr. accomplished? It's going to be like, oh, I ain't watched the fight. I ain't watched the fight. Then you moved on from them. You at 154. Now, all of a sudden, the former undisputed 147-pound champion, former unified champion, you didn't watch his fight. You took his belt. You took his 147-pound IBF belt. He wasn't able to enjoy that shit like 120 days, 180 days. He wasn't even able to enjoy that. Y'all went up there and sent the letter, boom, got the response that you needed, knowing he was locked into a rematch, and got the IBF belt. And what? You still didn't earn the type of respect that you believe you was going to earn from it. But you did go over there and beat little old Stantionis. But to move up to 154 pounds, to hear the criticism of how he went in there, him being Sir Crawford, to fight Madrimov, I'm just curious as to why it's so difficult for you to recognize real when it's standing right there in front of your face, when you see them answer the bell, when you see the skills that they had to go in there and beat the same fighter that you helped prepare for him. And what did I say, Ennis? I say it's nothing that you can do with Canelo Alvarez that Canelo is going to learn from, because it hasn't been proven that you can execute that same teaching against a high-level opponent of Canelo Alvarez. I can see if Canelo was giving you the shot at 168. But that's not the case. You and Crawford ain't built the same. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, how can the so-called student teach the teacher? The teacher was there just to go through some curriculum. They take bits and pieces on what they think they need. You can go through the choreography and try to work on this, that, and the other, but it's never going to be. You're never going to quite understand, nor are you going to have the inclination to know what Team Crawford was working on with Canelo Alvarez. So for them to come over there to you, it turned out pretty much what I thought it was. It turned out that he was just over there getting some work. People try to say you stop Canelo. Well, if you stop Canelo and Bud beat him up the way he did, you should be getting the next shot at 168 pounds. He should give you the next shot. Fight a common opponent of Crawford, and then Crawford would be like, hey, I got to fight Ennis now. He came up to 168 to fight Canelo after sparring him and supposedly dropping him. I got to fight him. That's what I want to see. Real talk. I would like to see that type of move next.
I ain't worried about no outsiders, I like it. That's how when you pay attention to what you got in front of you and you think ahead. That's how things happen. I'm being focused. I can relax. That's it.
I understand where he coming from. Staying locked in to what's in front of you. But come on, Ennis, man. Nobody's believing that you eat on a Sunday morning. Nah, I gotta you eat in the congregation. Nah, I get the offering tray. I want you to put just a little bit of you and maybe turn the Holy Ghost shaka boom boom yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nobody's locked in to your Yzma except you. I just think that's a way for you to make it seem like he's important. You know what I'm saying? You at a point right now where people looking at you is supposed to be one of the primary hitters that's moving up. I mean, you have over 30 professional wins, yo. And you about to fight a plate of lima beans with extra butter sauce and pepper. But yet you're going to tell the media that you're focused on October when, I mean, this guy don't supposed to be on your level. This is not a 50-50 fight, yo. So if it's not a 50-50 fight, it's not the same as Crawford saying, I'm just focused on Canelo. I'm just focused on Canelo. I'm just focused on Madrimov. That's all I'm focused on right now. I'm just focused on Madrimov. I'm just focused on Madrimov. That's it. I can see that. He got to get through Madrimov. The first and only fight he's had at 154 pounds. I can see Crawford saying that because he's moving up for a championship fight. Not so much for you, Ennis. You're not moving up for a championship fight.
No. Thank you, Boots.
You say it one time.
That
was my goal, try to get boxing back on the mat in Philadelphia, and I'm doing. It's my third time headlining at not Wells Fargo no more, but actually move arena. It's a blessing. So yeah. My main goal is Lima. That's it right now at the moment.
Man, I'm just getting a little bit bored. Real talk. With hearing, you just focus on Lima and don't want to mention Crawford's name. That's mad respect right there. That's mad respect. And the only thing I'm saying to you, Jaron Ennis, is that when you don't have a fight, or you in between fights, nobody hear from you. For me, I'm gonna be honest and put it out there. It doesn't seem like Ennis is trying to elevate above and beyond being just a notable name and a star. Yes, he was on Area Hawani, but the only person that's talk about his interview off Area Hawani is me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only one to talk about that. For real. I'm the only one that mentioned his interview off Area Hawani. And in between fights, YSM Sports can only do so much for you. Nobody really hears from you in between fights. So you return and we find out you fighting a guy that no one wants to see. And it's not a 50-50 proposal. Now you gotta say, well, I didn't watch the Crawford fight. That's a way to basically separate myself from any interest. I didn't even watch it. So since I didn't watch it, I can't talk on it. I cannot speak on that. Right. But truth be told, man, if you did speak on it, it would give a little bit more interest to your name being placed out here and people allowing your name to be a little bit more aggressive in the algorithm. A little bit people want to place you in the titles of their talking points and say, this is what Ennis said on the lead up to your fight with Yzma. Like, I'm not saying you have to live off controversy, but you just asked a simple question. You know what I'm saying? People just asking you a simple question about, do you believe that's something that may be on the manifesto in the future? Do you believe that this will be something that you put on the forecast for later on after you go in here and beat Lima? Because no one's really saying that you're going to lose against Lima. They're not saying that. There's a lot of people, to include myself, like, why are you even fighting this guy? You come up the 154, and I'm like, Crawford, unified champion, he moved up to 54 for a chip. You move up to 54, and there's crosstalk. There's static. You know, it's not as smooth of a transparent, you know, type of move from one division to the other. Like they say you're the phenom, but you're not doing phenom type behavior. You're not moving like a phenom. You're fighting basic mediocre competition. Your fight with Stantionis is over. He was never considered a huge superstar. No one thought that was a 50-50 fight. The same with Uiz Malema. Nobody believes at all that this is a 50-50 fight, and no one's going to get into their feelings to watch the face-off. People are not going to be getting off work early for you to come in here and face off against Uiz Malema, who is 14-1. 14-1. The guy has less experience than you, and also he's older than you. You're 28 years old now, I believe. This dude is 14-1, 10 knockouts. This dude is ranked 2,299th in the world. In the world. You know what I'm saying? In the world. His last loss was against Aaron McKenna. You know the McKenna that was up that pity pat limb. You know what I'm saying? That McKenna. He lost a unanimous decision. Scorecards 92-98, 93-98, 91-100. If you think Aaron McKenna back in June of 2023 gapped him on the scorecards like that, what do you think Ennis is going to do? Ennis is supposed to go ahead and stop this dude. Even though he has one loss and it's not a stoppage, he's supposed to go ahead and stop this dude. And when he does stop him, if he stops him, what is it going to matter? What is it going to matter? It's not going to matter, bro. He's going for the IBO World Super Weight. That's how he's getting the belt. He's going to IBO. Look, I ain't mad at him. You want to go the IBO route, so be it. At least they can somewhat establish you as being a champion at 154 pounds. I'm not mad at him. It's just this dude who has the IBO belt is there for the Christmas gift. Santa doesn't have to come to Philly. They're already getting a freaking present during the month of October. So this is somewhat a Halloween type festivity. You know, they're dropping off, you know, loads of candy, and also, hey, mommy, guess what's in the bag? It's an IBO World Super Welterweight title. It looks so shiny. Man, they wrapped it up very nice. Let me see, buddy. I mean, come on, man. You know, IBO World Super Welterweight Champion. Salute to you, man. It's going to be an easy go. This dude's not going to put up any type of challenge. You know, they give him 5 stars. What? He's damn near ranked 3,000. I mean, he's ranked 9th, rather. He's ranked 9th out of 2,299. You know what I'm saying? He's ranked 9th. Okay. 9th where? Where did that ranking come from? Excuse me, standing corrected for misreading that earlier. Where did the 9 come from? Huh? This dude has fought no one except McKenna. No one. And then he fought Suk Deep. Is that my guy? No, that's not him. That's not him. He fought Singh back in December 2024. You know? So, shit. He won the IBO World Super Welterweight Vacant back in December 2024. And, you know, he went in there and defended it against Koopman in May 2025. He has a defense. And now he's about to give it up and get a paycheck versus Jaron Ennis. So at least he got one defense. And then he's about to get a nice little chunk of change fighting Ennis. And then I'm really concerned about what's next for Ennis. That's all I'm concerned about. What's next for Ennis after this fight? Once again, shout out to YSM Sports. That was his content. Shout out to him. That was his content. Okay. Continue to do what you do, man. Great job you're doing over there in Philly with the gym. My criticism of Jaron Ennis has no reflection on YSM Sports. If it wasn't for his window, you know what I'm saying, of reporting, a lot of this information will not be out to the general public. But my overall questioning is reasonable in mine. Is warranted because, you know, he's fighting a guy for an IBO title to be recognized as a champion. But then again, it's no recognizable names that we want to see. Where are these fighters at? There's some names up there, highlighted names at 154 with over 30 professional fights, and you're fighting a guy that has less experience than you, that's older than you. It's a belt for the taking. Real talk, it's a belt for the taking. And you're going to have, you know, naysayers that bring up Madrimov. No one was comparing Madrimov to Lima in this case. No one. When Bud Crawford stepped up and fought Madrimov. But the whole point is this man is moving up to 154 pounds. He most definitely should go in there and defeat Lima. And us, the fight fans, is curious to see what's next. Period. We're curious to see what's next. All right. Moving on. Shout out to this guy right here. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Sir Crawford, boxing royalty. I just wanted to put this out there, right? This man has turned another year into prosperity of greatness. This man went in there September 13th and basically performed like we knew he would. I mean, exuded greatness from the beginning, has always let us know that what it was about. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's always been about, living a fighter's lifestyle and going in there and proving those who doubted him wrong. A gripe of mine is that, you know, he tend to show the haters just a lot more love than he showed his supporters. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. But it would have been good to hear that. I never sit up here and complain about it. I said it's up to the fighters to volunteer information and recognize you. So if he chooses to recognize his haters, that's probably one of the primary reasons that fueled him to go out there and whoop these fighters the way he did. And that's what he did to Spence. All the hate he was receiving, he whooped them. That's what he did to Canelo. He went out there and whooped them. The same hate that he was getting with Spence, I think if you balance it out, right? I think he received a little bit more hate with the Errol Spence. I mean, I don't know. They close, man. I want to say the Errol Spence, but with the Canelo, a lot of people believing that he was going to get knocked out. Canelo was going to run through him. He's stupid. He just cashed it. I'll say the Canelo. I would say the Canelo, he received a bit more valuable. It was much more of a higher price tag on the hate when it came to Canelo, to be honest. But I want to read something to you all because the question has came out, right? Pretty much asking about this Mount Rushmore. Who's the greatest? Who's this? Who's that? And the other. As I screen grabbed this, right? I thought about Henry Armstrong and how he was camping in 3 divisions simultaneously when there was only 8 divisions. Crawford doing it when they're 17. If you add Bridgerweight, 18. It says Armstrong and Terrence Crawford are the only, O-N-L-Y, y'all. Okay? Only. And look, I love looking this up because, you know, I see more and more content creators doing this shit. And I don't need, you know, any type of freaking Oscar or any type of monetary, you know what I'm saying, restitution. But I appreciate y'all looking up definitions and explaining them sarcastically. Only says, and no one or nothing more besides, solely or exclusively. I like the word exclusively, okay? Okay, we're going to just stick with the word exclusively. Period. That's what we're going to do. Just let that exclusively soak in a little bit. We're just going to take a little moment and work on that word exclusively. Woo! Just work. Just let it soak in a little bit. Okay? Exclusively. See, the one thing about Crawford, right? Crawford has been a part of some exclusiveness in his career. All right. Regardless of, what the exclusiveness detailed, he's been a part of some exclusiveness. I'm on the pound per pound list when you had only two other middleweights that was there in the four-belt eras being undisputed. Crawford was exclusive on that list when he came in as an undisputed, seated, reigning defending champion in the four-belt era at 140 pounds. Am I right or wrong? Talk to me. Talk to me now. Then we talking about exclusively when we want to bring up Armstrong and Terrence Crawford are the only boxer in history to hold the undisputed championship in 3 different weight classes. He defended his welterweight title a total of 19 times. Do y'all know who Henry Armstrong beat to get that welterweight? Anyway, it says the Ring magazine named him Fighter of the Year in 1937. The Boxers Writers Association of America, BWAA, named him Fighter of the Year in 1940. The Sporting News recognized him as the Fighter of the Decade for the 1930s. He is currently ranked by boxer. You hear all the accolades, right? We're talking about an International Boxing Hall of Famer, right? Crawford is going to be in the Boxing Hall of Fame. But I wanted to ask an open-ended question. I heard a lot of people speaking about Crawford having Hall of Famers on his resume in order for him to be voted in favor or considered to be a Mount Rushmore candidate. Once again, they was insinuating that Crawford needed a Hall of Famer or Hall of Famers plural to be on Mount Rushmore. Is that criteria to be considered a Mount Rushmore, knowing that this is not actually literally going to happen on any type of rock? Maybe an enshrinement in your town of Omaha, Nebraska, but the Mount Rushmore is just a topic, just an open-ended topic to discuss with those like-minded individuals that's here talking about boxing. Where are we getting this criteria? There's no specific criteria. There's no specific standard operating procedures. There's no index where you can run your finger from top to bottom and say, there it is right there. Chapter Crawford, 6 through 9. Chapter Crawford, chapter 9, verse 13. And on this day, chapter 9, verse 13, on this day, you're not going to find it. All it is good conversation. No one has the manuscript, the pamphlet, the SOP, the Bible. No one has a scroll. No one has the Crawford Encyclopedia. No one has anything of set standards. No one has a petition. No one can bring you information, literature, certified, notary information. No one can bring you that. I had this paperwork sent up to the highest Supreme Court, okay, and they stamped their approval. Yeah, notary stamp. Yeah, certified it. You're not gonna find any information that says that he has to have a multitude of Hall of Famers on his record to be considered for an open-ended Mount Rushmore that is just a general topic, a floater, so to speak. This is just a contextual blimp. This is just something that we have sidebar conversations about. This is it. It's literally nowhere. You're not going to find this Mount Rushmore nowhere except online, where individuals want to use their Photoshop app, their software, to put these faces up there. You feel me? That's it. You're not going to get too much more out of that. But let me show you something that, they really not trying to give Crawford his just due all around town, Hold on, let me show you something that's hilarious. That's hilarious, yo. Where is it? Did I have it on here? I'm not putting too much focus on people giving Crawford his just due, but he's in the company of only one other individual, just like when he was on the undisputed list. You know what I'm saying? With those two middleweights, he was in the company of a short list, and then came the others. Okay, how can you visit a short list of exclusive earners, those fighters who have earned the right to be there before any other? How can you justify saying, no, just because it's Crawford, we're going to come up with other criteria? Hey, I'm not saying no one's listening, because the casuals always want to listen to people if they're not a fan of Crawford to say, I don't agree with that. He's not a Mount Rushmore type of fighter. He's not this, he's not that. I get it. But you have to consider him somewhere in the conversation, that just like the belt eras before the 4-belt era, everything is subject to change over time. I don't see us going any higher than the 4-belt era, because if you look at it technically, the IBF floats around out there too, but no one's calling it the 5-belt era. You have the silver, you have the intercontinental, the continental, you have the gold, you have all these other secondary trinkets. They don't call it the 12-belt era, but the 4-belt era is where a lot of fighters was able to put themselves in the company of exclusive members who made these achievements. Crawford is one of those people. He was the first to do it in 2 and first to do it in 3 in the 4-belt era. That was amazing. You know what I'm saying? That was amazing, yo. That was absolutely epic. Henry Armstrong, a Hall of Famer. Crawford, definitely a Hall of Famer as we speak. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it that these critics or these grumpy old voices who want to say that I don't like what he said, he didn't need Errol Spence. He don't need Errol Spence. Errol Spence wasn't the one that brought this on Crawford, where they're now saying, oh, we want to talk about Mount Rushmore. Yeah, Crawford is one of the GOATs of this era, period. You can keep on talking like a crackhead or alcoholic or whatever and keep on saying, you know what, I really like Michelob Light before I got on crack. I love to drink Michelob Light before I got on crack. It just wasn't doing it for me. Well, why you didn't drink the malt liquor? Man, that malt liquor a little strong. I ain't want to get strung out. Oh, so you want to drink the light beer, and you said it didn't fuck with you that heavy, so you just turned to crack, just went straight to crack, huh? Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? You keep on talking about the old shit like you a crackhead, and people gonna treat you like you won. You continue to talk about resumes when this man is a 3-division undisputed. They're gonna treat you like one. You're going to keep on going back and talk about Errol Spence. You're going to talk about Madrimov. But you want to say Canelo until the conversation get all, too intense for you. And you're going to say, yeah. He beat Canelo, but he wasn't the first to do it. But y'all said Floyd Mayweather, he was too green, but he wasn't the first to do it. He was daring to be great fighting Bivol. But Crawford didn't do it. Crawford, he was the third one to beat him. And by that time, Canelo started fighting at 15 years old. His legs were shot. Shot, I tell you. His legs were shot, I tell you. Listen to me, his legs was gone. I seen him at the ER, man. When he finished with Ennis, he went straight to the ER, man. They had to put ice packs, put him in a full bodysuit, man. They had to give him full crowd therapy, yo. They put him in inverted, and they left him in there a little bit too long, and then they had him stand up in there for hours, man, just to get that recovery. His legs was gone, man. Could barely stand up. I couldn't tell you how much cortisone they shot in them legs, man. They're going to come up with those excuses that Canelo is all of a sudden shot, ignoring the fact that when Crawford was in there with Madrimov, they were saying it was over for him. He looked slow. His legs was gone. For him to mention Canelo's name, he was cashing out. It was a payday for him. This is his retirement fight. And the man didn't even get the amount of money that we thought he was going to get. I thought he's looking at well over 50. This man got like 10 to 15. He said he wanted to do it for legacy. Now they looking at him, oh, you stupid. See, that's what we was talking about, Crawford. Well, you bad for business. What is it? These niggas will never be satisfied. What is it, man? Y'all get mad because he fought Canelo Alvarez, who got a guaranteed 5 times, 6 times high, whatever it was. He got paid more than Crawford, took the L from Crawford, but yet y'all still criticizing this man and trying to say, oh man, why did he take 10 and 15? See, that's what we used to say about Crawford. He ain't good for business, man. He ain't smart. He ain't this. But you were saying that he was taking a cash out, a retirement check. You did not want to serenade this man for his accomplishments. You didn't want to give him his flowers, yo. You steadily wanted to damn sucker punch him and give him black eyes and say Canelo did it. You was trying to take him out with your words before he stepped through the ropes. Man, imagine how the life cycle works in boxing, huh? It's a killer be killed type of environment, man. You have all these verbal assassins out here. They have a lot to say. And then when it don't turn out in their favor, they want to complain about them up here betting and crashing out over Crawford and coming up with these mysterious freaking conspiracy theories. Then now all of a sudden we have another boxer outside of Tyson Fury who had bad gloves. The same fighter whose glove was grabbed by Derrick James, and they were saying, you see, even Derrick James, he felt the need to grab Crawford's glove. He felt that Crawford cheated. He grabbed the glove. So why didn't Derrick James have the gloves impounded? Why didn't he request for the gloves based off his suspicion? Why didn't he request to have the gloves impounded like Top Rank, just like Billy Collins Sr. did the night that Luis Riesto ended his son's career? Why? Why wasn't the protocol handled? It's been in boxing for quite some time, right? Y'all love taking darts to the heart when Crawford proved y'all wrong, and then feel some type of way when you get on here screaming and yelling and it's hard for you to breathe. Oh man, something ain't right because you don't feel it. You don't feel it. You taking all the damn damage. You tell him what Crawford can't do, ain't gonna do, won't do. Will he's going in here, he's biting off more than he can chew. But then when he removed the doubt and he's victorious once again, y'all up here holding your chest. This Mount Rushmore shit doesn't have an approved set of criteria, nor does it have any reasonable documentation that has been voted on in a group of qualified individuals to say this is the Mount Rushmore of boxing. Just because somebody is good with working software does not mean they can make up this Mount Rushmore and it's going to be respected. It doesn't mean that shit, yo. Shout out to BG in the building. What's good with it? Said Boots jealous of Bud, and Bozy knows Boots can't beat him. Maybe if a Philly like Boots make more disappointing because when it comes to boxing, move. Boxing don't talk. Move Boots, that nigga from Jersey. Boots a certified hater. Absolutely, he is a certified hater, yo. Boots is a certified. You're a certified hater, dog. That's all. But I want to see Boots go up there and have a breakout fight at 154. But to say you didn't watch the fight, stop it, bro. Stop it. You helped Bud. You helped Bud indirectly, yo. Come on. You helped him indirectly. When you posted that picture, feeling all jipper and happy, wherever you spar Canelo at, man, that only fueled Bud even more. He probably said, man, fuck him, man. I don't care if they working. That nigga ain't me. Bud, he the type of he ain't me. Come on, let's be honest, man. He ain't me. He ain't me, dog. He probably said behind closed doors. WCS said it best. It don't matter what Ennis is choreographing with Canelo because they believe that Ennis is a 2.0 of Crawford. Whatever Ennis's choreography is comparable to sparring Canelo, that is just going through the motions. You still have to factor in and say the IQ on when to throw something, when to execute it, how to execute it, hand trapping, counter shots. Come on, man. Come on, man. You have to take the brain with you. You can go through choreography, but you have to have the brain inside that ring in Allegiant Stadium. Has Ennis been a part of a crowd, of a massive crowd like that? How would he perform in that with Canelo? You probably fueled him even more. He probably said, okay, all right. I see what's going on here. He was already locked in, but they want to fuck around with him and shit. He probably fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? It probably fucked him up. He said, man, I was going in here and I was going to put on a boxing lesson. Now I'm going to try to knock this nigga out. Shout out to the OG Bruce Gas, man. What's good? Man, talk to him, man. You don't have to be locked in. Come on, man. Somebody leave a Yelp review. Somebody leave a Yelp review, dog. Put some Yelp reviews on this motherfucker. He said he had to be locked in. He locked in for Lima. Somebody leave a Yelp view on Jaron Ennis's on YSM on Jaron Ennis, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Come on, dog. Somebody need to leave a Yelp review on Jaron Ennis talking about he's locked in on Lima. How? Lima ain't no better than Karen. I think Karen is better than Lima at a lower weight class. For real. I would rather seen Karen fight at 154 than Lima, but he has the IBO championship. I know why you're fighting him. You want to be considered as a champion so you can goddamn not fight the legitimate certified champ. You want to be a champion up there right next to the champ. And you're trying to see how stuff going to play out. I ain't mad at you, man. Navigate how you see fit. What's up, Geechee? I see you. Salute. AB. Was that you talking about the wrench? I don't know what you're talking about, man. You in blue. It might have been, that dial-up connection you got, but you in blue, man. I didn't go and do anything. If that was you to hit me, let me see if that was you. Because I didn't change anything. I didn't go change nothing, man. Yeah, what I do to get my wrench? Hey, man, I'm looking at your wrench right now. It says Black and Decker on that bitch. I don't know what you talking about, bro. You seen Pitbull versus Roach? It's 74.99. So Pitbull. I appreciate that, BG. So Pitbull and Roach is fighting, huh? What are we talking about? Huh? Hold on. Let me look something up right quick. So where you see that at, bro? Where you see that? I haven't seen that on nada. They must not talk about where is this at? Devin must be perfect to right my normal 1 punch on November. Where is this at? TFM sponsor 10 days boxing, blah blah blah. I don't see it. I can't look for it right now. Yeah, man. December 6th? No, I ain't heard that, man. Crying about the fight coming late, but at first they was crying, talking about 2:00 p.m. is too early. I don't know, man. I don't know what that's about. I haven't seen that yet. Real talk. But look how they did Bud, yo. This is what I pulled off Boxing News 24 the other day. This is what I pulled off Boxing News 24. That's how they be doing Bud, man. Real talk. Straight up. That's how they be doing Bud. They up there talking about Bud Crawford's recent parade after beating Canelo. Right? You think I'm bullshitting? Check this out, yo. I'm gonna share the screen because this how Boxing News be doing Bud Crawford. They was insinuating that this was yesterday, right? Let me take this down. This is Boxing News, okay? Okay, look at that shit now. They saying that's Bud Crawford yesterday. His hair had braids. They have him looking like Don Cheadle. Look at that. Look how Boxing News do that, brother, man. They make it seem like they dug this man up. They exhumed his body and put him up there, and he's all stiff holding a belt. They act like this shit is 45 to 50 years from now. He don't have the same hairstyle. That doesn't even look like him in the face. He didn't even have on those clothing. He was holding his kids the other day. That's what I'm talking about, man. Boxing News 24 be on some bullshit, dog. They say Terrence Crawford flaunts $188,000 gold ring belt doing Omaha victory parade. You know what I'm saying? That shit is wild. Who is that? Who is that? Is it just me or was Crawford hair braided yesterday? Was it just me or was Crawford hair braided? Am I lying? Was Crawford hair braided yesterday? I could have sworn it was. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I know. It seemed like Crawford's hair was braided yesterday. Oh, boy. And let me take you here, right? I always use this thumbnail of mine for El Chin Checker because, listen, those of you that continue to be mad, it's out of Tank's hands, bro. Look, Tank is at a place at a a juncture in his career where it's not up to him. Okay. Timothy Bradley said it best. And I've mentioned this, I've had people try to go at me because I mentioned stuff about PBC and they want to say, how you know. Hey, a coward will fall 1,000. They would stand for nothing. You got people over here trying to say, oh man, this is going great. It's all this. They sit up here capping and just being freaking voices, protesters, agitators, insurgency for something that's going down bad. People don't understand that. They act like Tank ain't signing nobody. Didn't I say Al still had a hand in Tank's career? Isn't they gonna make more money fighting Jake Paul? Don't you think it's bigger names in there that's moderating Tank's fight with Jake Paul than Tank himself? Why are you all putting this all on El Chinchecker? Clearly, it's people there that wants the money. They didn't have a hell of a year in 2025. I've told people they've been struggling over there for a minute, but they don't want to listen. Rick Glaser has put information out there that they were struggling for a long time. But those on here, these thick-headed individual, closed-minded type individuals on the YTC, they still want to big them up. You telling lies on an organization that you're on the outside looking in, that's struggling to stay afloat, and you're placing all the blame on Tank Davis because he don't want to give you a mediocre rematch with Lamont Roach, which is not going to render the type of money, is not going to provide you with the revenue that you think. With Jake Paul, the money is going to be there and he's going to get paid. So what do you think boxing has been called? Boxing is a business, and the hocus pocus of boxing will continue to be a business, but yet they're not going to give you the fight that you want to see. And that's exactly what we got going on right here. We have an exhibition fight that a fighter can still be paid a monetary purse, even in an exhibition bout. They can still be paid. They look, when the sport's not regulated right, they can still sit up here and put on a fight with no cap, no monetary cap for an exhibition fight. Oh, you can only make $20,000 a round in a 12-round fight in an exhibition. That's it. It's not a cap on it. So you can go over here and execute a exhibition bout and get paid. And you know what? Let me tell you this other non-secret. When it comes to the hocus pocus of this sport, it's going to be many other fighters that look at Tank Davis go in there and fight Jake Paul, and they're going to be disappointed, right? But yet, give it about another 2 to 3 years, and it's going to be another well-named fighter doing an exhibition with a fighter. Watch what I tell you. Exhibition fights have been going on for decades. It's just the newer generation, man. They're not as open-minded. They're very stubborn individuals to understand when change is right in front of them. They busy up here tugging along, pushing wheelbarrows up the hill. Don't worry about it. Push the horse. But the horse can pull the cart. Oh, no. I want to push the horse up the hill. I want y'all to get behind that carriage. Push it. This is going to build strength and endurance. This is going to build loyalty. Push the cart and the horse. But the horses can pull the cart. It's too much for us. No. We have to start from the bottom. Now we're here. I'm serious, yo. They ain't gonna never learn, man. They always want to talk about money. They want to talk about what Tank ain't doing. But it's people that's in charge. Al Heyman still have a hand, whoever it is over there running the business. They're going to get more. When a fighter has a manager's locked in for a certain percentage and they need the money, the business need the money, the promotion need the money, guess what? You're going to have these type of sequences that play out in front of you that's not going to be, that's going to be unfavorable. And the only thing you can do is bitch and complain about Tank He ducking. He don't want the smoke. He's this. But Lamont Roach is not gonna render the price tag that Jake Paul is gonna render. Already, people looking at this like, man, Jake Paul way bigger than Tank, man. We saw it on stage, yo. We saw the significant size difference, like we didn't know that from the beginning. We saw the significant size difference. Tank looked very small in that compared to Jake Paul. But what can you, the critics, the bumbling critics on here, what can you do to stop it? That's all I'm asking. WCS want to know, what can you do to stop this? I'm trying to get through to y'all, man. I'm not trying to come off as a life coach, a mentor, a youth counselor, a lifeguard, because some of you drowning in your own stupidity now. What can I say to you to help you understand that this right here, all this criticism that you're talking about with Tank Davis, it's your crit. It's other things that's going on that people need money. And with the hocus pocus of it all, the magic is happening behind the scene, and the results of the trick is not going to be in favor of the boxing fans. So guess what? You have to deal with it. You have to deal with it, y'all. Y'all have to deal with this, bro. You have to deal with it, man. I don't know what else to tell you. You have to deal with the sudden changes. When a fighter is not going to fight the fighter that you think, because there's no way that you're going to put this in the acronym of best fighting the best. No. You're not going to do that. You cannot inject Lamont Roach and Tank Davis as the best fighting the best. Because why? That was his first at 130 pounds. If you wasn't really willing to insert Bud, the same way at 154, if you really wasn't able to give him the 154-pound division, you were saying, oh, he's still a 47-pounder. Then why in the hell y'all busy up here wanting Lamont Roach to fight Tank, and Tank brought him up? Y'all were saying, oh, another small guy for Tank. Tank is small. Tank's legitimate division is 130 pounds. He's a small fighter, just like Lomachenko. Lomachenko know not to go up to 140. I don't care if he retired. I'm just making a point. But he brings Roach up there. Roach goes the distance, and guess what? All of a sudden, it's priority. All of a sudden, it's priority, yo. But we're not talking about the money. We don't know the business side. We don't know the conversations that's going on between closed doors and everything that's concerned to the company. We don't know the phone calls are being made. How Jake Paul is lining Tank up with a nice juicy payday. You know what I'm saying? A juicy payday. But us, the fight fans, believe that we have a part in all of this. Yeah, you have a part. You're right, yo. You do. You know, this media, this boxing media, y'all have a part, man. Y'all are the dumpster juice suppliers to topics. That's what you are. You're the septic tank of boxing media, some of you. Not all of you, some of you. You're the septic tank, man. You would never understand. You would never sanitize and come to a logical understanding that boxing is a business, and those business decisions is not always going to be unfavorable to us, the fight fans. So what do? You go on a rampage and attack a fighter and say, oh, he's not really give us the fight. He don't want to give us the fight. These fighters ain't sold out venues. They ain't made, they're not on record selling more tickets than Tank. None of that. But you want to see the best fighters fight the best. I get it. I do too. But sometimes the best name that's lined up, that's on your list, those individuals that are making a business call behind the scenes, they don't see it the same way. Their lenses are just a little bit foggy. and they're not going to give you what you want. They're going to say, F them. They don't respect us like that. Seriously. Them people that's up there, with the business. I hear people, boxing fans or consumers or whatever they want to call themselves. I hear them say all the time, we're the one paying for them. We're the ones. But we cannot, with a collective consensus, come up with a number, a legitimate number of people that support boxing and say, you know what, let's do this right here. Let's do a full-blown PowerPoint presentation on the boxing fans that we've collected worldwide, and let's try to break down the numbers. We've got some of the smartest boxing fans and content creators across the world. We're going to live stream this for 24 hours, and we're going to take these numbers and break them down for you. We're going to see how important are the consumers are to the sport of boxing. That's what we're going to do. And I'm telling you, it'll never happen. Just like Bud losing, it'll never happen. Just like Canelo winning on September 13th, it was never happening. It was Never. 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 He's a different type of fighter in this generation, and y'all underestimated the man. I tried to tell them all the times I seen Bud in person what he was doing. They just want to say, they'll go Combat over there. He only got two viewers on that. Oh, he only got 3 viewers. Oh my God. Oh my God. He's not the person that we want to communicate with. I need somebody that has at least about 2,000 views per. Look, I get it, man. I get it. I can get on here behind the mic and tell you some things that may be conducive, may be informative, right? But you have too many people that's all about the like. You know what I'm saying? They got a like. It's not all about liking. I'm just trying to give you a clear understanding. Like, I try to tell people all the, different areas of athleticism that I've seen Bud do. And I was like, man, he's more athletic than a lot of these boxers. Before he fought Spence, I say Bud is way more strong and athletic. Canelo, I told people, if it was a street fight, he'll dump Canelo on his head. It'll be a spot of cinnamon on the pavement. Hey, kids, hey, go in there and get those gingerbread cookies. Yeah, the one that I told you to bake earlier, go out here. We got some cinnamon out here. Okay? Yeah, come on, it's Friday. Hurry up. Bring a couple of napkins, too. You got some free cinnamon out here. He'll dump Canelo on his head, man. You see what happened when Canelo, elevated Bud off his feet? Did it happen again? No. Bud turned his ass. I try to tell people about wrestling on the inside. They was up here saying, man, get the fuck out of here. That don't mean shit. Yeah, if you got underhooks, it does. If you know what the fuck you're doing, it does. If you know how to use your opponent's weight against them. If you know how to control on the inside. Bud had 2 underhooks and turned freaking Canelo easily. He turned Spence. He turned Porter. I was trying to tell him. Ask Usyk. Usyk worked on the same shit in his rematch, before his rematch with Tyson Fury. And people just looked at it like, oh, man, he didn't do anything. Tyson shot. I try to tell you, man, combat sports play a role. Other combat sports, collective combat sports, play a role in boxing. But you have some narrow-minded individuals, they just want to say, no, all you got to do is know how to throw a left and a right. Shoot your angles, footwork, movement, boxing IQ, be in the gym, remediate. I mean, I'm just saying, y'all, like, come on, man. I'm just saying, yo, like, goddamn. Tank, man. Tank is fighting Jake Paul, and it ain't really up to him. I'm being as honest as possible. There's other people that's involved in Tank fighting Jake Paul because of the paycheck. Jake Paul has the money. This is the promoter who has fought as the main event on his cards a lot of times. He's doing what no other promoter has been able to do. What other promoter do you know is fighting in the main event? Jake Paul can do that. Jake Paul has the backing, the financial backing, the sponsorships. In one breath, you want to congratulate and support Jake Paul because he's bringing women boxing up to the surface and getting them paid. But yet, when it comes to Tank, y'all have a problem with Tank taking the Jake Paul fight when Canelo was just about to take the Jake Paul fight before Turki Al-Sheikh said, N-O-P-E, N-O-P-E, I'm going to cancel the Crawford fight. You best believe. N-O-P-E, N-O-P-E, you fuck with me, I'm going to cancel the fight. 150 million gone. I tried to tell you that shit wasn't happening. N-O-P-E, yo, N-O-P-E. Turkey told him, nope. People up there tapping their heels, jumping up in the air. Oh my God, Crawford and Canelo was out. Toto, did you hear that, Toto? Man, get out of here. I try to tell you, yo. I try to tell you. They was up here cheering and cheering and cheering that Crawford Canelo was off because Turkey didn't believe in it. But yet he shot down Canelo Jake Paul. And now you mad at Tank? Once upon a time, Spencer 47 was barking Canelo's name. And there was a lot of y'all up here. Man, y'all was had them. Man, y'all was really had them knee-high tube socks on. And man, I was impressed with y'all cheers, man. All the flips y'all was doing and shit. I mean, y'all was cheering Spence to get that fight with Canelo. At 47, y'all wanted him to move all the way up and fight Canelo. I'm glad y'all allowed Bud to be a part of that massacre. I'm glad you all allowed Bud to be the host of these massacres that took place in his career of the two names. You know, you can get to a point where you say, oh, you need this name, this name, this name, this name, this name. But when you going straight to the top, like when you get on the elevator, they take me to the 47th floor. And you get out the elevator, whoop ass, boom, boom. You get back on there. And you come back another day. And you at 154, a little bit higher. You get a championship. You get off. And the word is you about to go up some more floors to 68. No. You out of order. That's not chronologically how you're supposed to do this. And you go up to 68, you're not just going up to 68 for an average fight. This is the guy who is supposed to be the man. And you go up there and make it look easy. The meme is out there, yo. The meme has been used several times. How can Crawford have a meme out there of the face of boxing? Look at this. How can that little old itty bitty Crawford do that? For real. How can you get on El Chin Checker for getting a payday when Canelo was about to do the exact same thing as an active fighter? What's the difference? Were y'all calling for Canelo to face Edgar Berlanga after coming off a loss with Hamzat Shiraz? Do he rate the Hami Munguia has been cleared of the PED finding? So y'all want him to rematch Canelo too? Just like he did Shiraz? Did he redeem himself? Or Bruno Shiraz supposed to be a coming opponent of Canelo, and that's the only way that Canelo would acknowledge Hami Munguia if Bruno Shiraz was a coming opponent? Y'all not hollering for Jermell Charlo to come back for a rematch with Canelo? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Like, come on, help me out. One punch at a time. Come on, man. I know y'all out there, man, sipping on that alphabet soup. You don't think it's monetarily an advantage for Tank to fight Jake Paul rather than Lamont Roach when y'all didn't consider Lamont Roach to be a ticket seller Y'all didn't care for him fighting Tank Davis, and you felt that he was the much smaller fighter. Explain that to me. There's a lot of people over here talking about people on their knees supporting Tank and this, that, and the other. Listen, however someone wants to support a fighter, it's up to them. It's up to them. But I support Tank fighting Jake Paul, even though I would like for him to be fighting Shakur Stevenson. But who said that the money is beneficial to those who are part of Tank's decision-making process? Who are those guys and girls? Who are they? Can we get them on the YTC and explain? I got people that are talking about, Tank, I did interviews with Tank. I did this. But where was the interview leading up to the Jake Paul fight? Can anyone of y'all get that? I heard all these content creators talking about, I interviewed Tank, you didn't. 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 Listen, explain to me what went on in the making of the Jake Paul Tank Davis fight. How did it come about for El Chinchecker to be fighting a guy that's 20 weight classes heavier than him? How did that fight come about behind closed doors? Maybe y'all content creators that was out here battling one another like it was Beat Street, the king of the beast. Like y'all was damn dancing to Electric Boogie, a Planet Rock. Oh, wiki, wiki, wiki. Oh, wiki, wiki, wiki. Check this out. They out here like it's back in the 80s and 90s battling. I interviewed Tank. I interviewed Tank too. I interviewed Tank. I interviewed Tank. I interviewed Tank. Can any one of y'all produce sound bites of how the negotiation went down behind closed doors? Who and when settled for Jake Paul to face Tank Davis? And why, Tank? My question to you, why did the word come out it was going to be down here in the A, and then all of a sudden you changed it down to Florida? I know why. Is the taxes somewhat different down there or something? You know, because Georgia's difficult. Georgia's a little bit difficult to deal with. That's why we cannot get hydrated off boxing. I was hoping the Jake Paul and Tank, two fighters that have visited Georgia on a fight card, especially Tank. Tank has gave us two exciting fights. Jake Paul came down here and fought Ben Askren and knocked him out on Thriller. Shout out to Thriller. But we didn't make the cut, yo. You know, I had to go outside and slap around some bushes for real. I had to go disrupt some little wasp nests, stomp on some ants. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for some cats too. I was gonna take my anger out on a couple of cats. I said, no, I don't want no goddamn animal control over here. Nah. You know what I'm saying? I was smashing the shit out them gnats flying around. Smack! I had to take it out. I said, why are you not coming down to the A, yo? I want to see these fighters come down to the A. But yet they said, no, we going down further south. I said, man, ain't this a mother? But I would like for those content creators to come up with some sound bites as to their sources. Why couldn't you all tell us ahead of time that Tank was going to fight Jake Paul? Please explain that to me. Please. Let me get to the chat. Shout out to everyone that's in the building, man. I cannot get to everyone that's in the chat, but those who support, I appreciate you. One love to everyone. Puma on deck. I see you, man. AB in the building. The real C-Dub is on deck. What it do, Chris? How you feel, bro? May all is well, dude. You already know. Conquest in the building. I'm just saying, Conquest, man, what's the deal with it, bro? Blue Hustle on deck. He said, I hope Jake Paul don't think Tank is like Nate Robinson. They got a beast. Hey, talk to him, man. I don't think he understands. See, Nate Robinson, the way he was running towards Jake Paul, he felt that he can get a lift off and somewhat do a Superman punch or something to that nature. You know what I'm saying? Nate Robinson was used to taking a couple of steps and then elevating to the rim. But this time he felt that he can run through the punch and it will work out the same. No. Nate Robinson found out what the land of Nod was. He just got a first class ticket there, all expenses paid by Jake Paul, who really didn't have to do much. The power, the weight, and the momentum did it for Nate Robinson. He don't even look. Nate Robinson don't dunk the same after that. They say Nate can't even dunk a goal in the store where the goal is like 6 feet. They say after that knockout, Nate can barely jump up there and dunk that shit. But hey, Tank is shorter than Nate. Tank is shorter than Nate, bro. That's all I'm saying. He's shorter than Nate, yo. That's the crazy part. Oh my God, but yo. Let me see if I got everything in my Hey, shout out to El Chin Checker, man. Make your money. They try to say I was glazing over you. Not look, I'm not glazing. I just look at things differently. I've seen so much behind the scene that people look, I've witnessed so much behind the scene that people believe that boxing works off strict protocol. You're acutely confused. You're really delusional. It's so many corners to be cut in real life. You have to be there to see it. And when you're getting credentials, it's just something that you keep to yourself. You say, okay, you mention stuff like this, and you'll never get able to work for them again. It's certain things that people believe that actually go down every fight card, every negotiation. They don't know about ranges that when they put the price tag out there for certain fighters, they have a range from this amount of money to that amount of money. They don't know how the ins and outs go. They just love talking about money. They just love talking about what a fighter should get, what he shouldn't get. Canelo was literally the face of boxing, was about to do the exact same thing that Tank is doing now, and people had no problem with it only because they believed that it removed Canelo versus Crawford from the schedule. They believe Turkey did away with it. They believe that Turkey's like, no, there's no way I put on that fight. No way. No way. But yet, a fighter that doesn't even have nowhere close to the experience of Canelo Alvarez, people want to see that. No, Turkey shut that shit down and say, no, I'm going to give you the money. He signed Canelo to a multi-fight deal. Canelo gets what Canelo wants when it comes to the bag. Y'all remember that 11-fight deal he had for $365 million or something like that? I mean, he didn't complete it, but Canelo's been getting millions. You remember when Danny Jacobs was in the hallway with Maul Charlo? He said, what are we doing? What are we doing? First off, I want to tell you, when you talk my name, put a sir on the front of it and a sir on the end of it. Do we understand one another? Okay. What's this talk you talking? I'm touching M's. I don't know what you touching on your off time, but I'm telling you, I'm touching M's. When we're going there for that contract right there and the pen is in my hand, I look at those numbers and I know them M's. What about you? I know you're not taking M's over there. I know they're not talking about them M's over there at PBC. Okay? Remember what I told you. I have no problem stepping in the ring with you, but you need to make sure you bring them M's. Danny Jacobs told him, yo. Danny Jacobs went up there cool as a fan in the hallway. Oh, look what we have here. Man, I told you I'd pull up on him when I had the time. That's what I'm doing right now. Don't be afraid. I heard you talking. But the difference between me and you, I'm touching M's and you touching whatever they give you. I heard you getting that back end money. I'm talking about way up yonder. You will see that back end money. I say down by the river. Man, they giving you all them slave songs. Don't worry about it. Keep your faith, young black man. You're going to get that back end money, Maul. Hey, Maul, don't worry about it. Did your mail break you off? Was there something in the contract? Anyway, I'm off that. I'm just saying. El Chin Checker, salute to you, man. Get your money. Don't worry about what these other people are trying to say. You know, Shakur Stevenson. I like Shakur Stevenson. He had a hell of a performance against freaking William Zepeda, but the comparison and something that they have in common is that William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson, they're not selling out. They haven't been on the big stages like that, like Tank. They haven't. You know, though they went in there and fought. I'm just saying they haven't been on the big stages like El Chin Checker, bro. I'm just being honest with you, man. It may not sound the way you want, but that's just the fact of it. Jay Paul's gonna get this man an exhibition bout where he gonna make millions. Exhibition? You're talking about Lamont? Come on, bro. At one point in time, Tank was battling parole violation, court, and they said he was retired and this, that, and that. All of a sudden, he's a center of attention. Oh, I get it. You know what sticks out to me really nice, just like a sticker broad bush, like a broad bush, like roses. You know what I'm saying? Is that just because boxing is in a dead space right now, and we got the Brian Normans fighting Devin Haney, that should be your talking point. Look at how much that's being glazed over. That should be who you're talking about. All these other fights that's coming up. Erickson Lubin. Come on, man. Erickson Lubin, Virgil Ortiz. That should be a banger right now. That's what y'all should be talking about. Erickson Lubin, Virgil Ortiz, Brian Norman Jr., Devin Haney. Y'all should be talking about those fights, man. But y'all up here talking about Tank Davis, the fighter that y'all was saying not too long ago was going to be locked up. His career's over. He should retire. He blew his career. He's a freaking domestic violence offender. He hits women. All that shit y'all was saying. You got people going on Twitter and want Tank to respond to him for whatever strange reason. And Tank say, oh, shut your ass up. I mean, Tank stay knocking heads off on this social media, but y'all still got to give them that attention. Leave these niggas alone, man. You don't see me goddamn sending tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet over there on X, man. Trying to get these fighters' attention, but time they respond with some disrespect. Look. This is the type of people that'll say, oh, come to my town. Oh, you want it? You can get it. Come to my town. But when Tank send a tweet in disrespect, hey, man, Tank, I know I'm sounding like Rocky Balboa right now, but all I ever wanted to do was be your friend. I mean, that's all I ever wanted to do is be your friend. I'm your bestie. I'm your fan. Come on, Tank. Come on, El Chin Checker. I'm your fan. If I was close to you, I'd reach out and give you a hug, Tank, because I know you're going through some pain right now. But you can win. We all can win. Just send me a tweet and say, hey, I really love you as a fan. I adore you. I appreciate your support. That's it. You don't have to talk to me like a bitch. Oh, let me stop, man. It's just too much to talk about, man. El Chin Checker, do your thing, dog. Do your thing, dog. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. Do your thing. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, man. Y'all continue to hold it down. Another time, same place. Peace.